Everyone. Um, I have a little free time here before I start my next classes, and what better way to spend your birthday than to make a video? Nothing else to do on a stormy day, so I took a look at the charts, and I just want to show you guys the big picture. Okay, it's really kind of mind-boggling and confusing because everybody's saying, "Gee, who's going to get it? Obama, Romney?" And I told you earlier that I thought on another video that I thought it was going to be Obama because of his son being at the top of the chart, and rightly so. However, this is really strange because a lot of the astrologers disagree and they think it's Romney because indeed Obama's son is in Scorpio, which is in his fourth house, and then his eighth house trains his eighth house in institutions, and then trains his 12th house in Cancer, home base, which Ceres, which is an asteroid. I don't talk too much about asteroids, but they're important right now. Which is Ceres is about traumatic separations and being ripped apart. So, absolutely, this is a very powerful dream that says, yes, he's going to be suddenly separated from his residence. However, Romney, who is Pisces, and his sign is Neptune, which is at 0 degrees and is going to stay there through elections. Oh, I mean, his first house trains of his fourth house of Cancer, which is where Ceres is, which says traumatic separation. And then his eighth house is in Scorpio, and government. I don't know, so go figure. I mean, to me, there's absolutely no way to tell this way who's going to get it. There's just no way. Okay. However, when I look at the events coming up, okay, Obama can, it looks to me, okay, I can picture either one of these guys making these changes in the next 2 to 3 years, okay, I think they're heading in the same direction. They both know what needs to get done. They're going after the same exact goals. They're just going to do it in 2 different ways, okay? But they both realize what needs to be done. It's inevitable what needs to be done. They both see it. They both are going to have to go after it. They will just use 2 different techniques. And that's the only difference between them. So, one thing that is inevitable, okay, Saturn, which is a government and structure, I've told you before, and Scorpio, which is beginnings and endings, life and death, tells me immediately, regardless of which one gets it, there's going to be some kind of shutdown from the government, either for 30 days or 3 years, okay? But it's going to have to, you remember that Obama announced that once already, and then he finally realized he didn't have to. Well, this time it's going to be a have to, okay? Whether it be for a short period of time or a long period of time. But the bottom line is that either the government closes or they have to do the unthinkable and they have to start cutting back on people that are draining, or things and institutions that are and people that are draining tremendously off the government. So it's going to go one or the other. Either the government's going to shut down, well, they got to start shutting down institutions. And that's a Romney, Obama, it's a no-brainer. They both got to do it. Okay? So it's for sure that on the chart, there's going to be, for sure, some kind of stoppage. Okay, some kind of closure. Okay, trying to stop that from happening so the government doesn't have to shut down, they are going to go after, either one of these presidents are going to go after, and it's happening, it's starting to happen now, it's going to happen for a while, but the big picture is that they need to shut down fraudulent activity with the hospitals, institutions, and people that are making money with the, off the institutions, and they're traveling, getting paid for their organs, and blah, blah, blah. This is going to take a while, and I don't want to say too much more about this because I think most of this is pretty top secret. But it's going to take a while. But when they are done, I mean, in other words, they're going to go after every single fraudulent activity they can find anywhere. To do with drugs, to do with pharmacies, to do with hospitals, to do with health insurance. There's tons and tons and tons of money that is just that's being fraudulently stashed away and made using, and they're making money off the government, the Medicare, Medicaid, and then they're, I don't want to say anymore, but this is something that's going to take a while, okay? And once again, this is an inevitable situation that both Romney and Obama see, and both are going to go after it. They just a different way, but this is the bottom line. This is the goal, to get back all the fraudulent money that has been made in the millions of dollars for the past, who knows, 10, 15 years, and draining the government of its resources. Okay, let's move on to something else. But anyways, the bottom line is new beginnings and getting rid of the old. That is the theme for the next 3 to 5 years. That's where this is all headed. Okay? Remember I told you that in another video. Get rid of the old, accept the new, embrace it, because the old is going away. And that is true, and that's what I see on the chart for everything. Okay? And everybody. Okay, there's a gun control that's been taking place, and it's going to for the next 4 to 6 weeks. And it's to do with the internet sales of guns. And this is something that I probably shouldn't even be saying right now, but because it'll make it harder for them to catch them. But they do have new, the government has new software and technologies updated, and they will be going actually to these people's houses and seizing these weapons, and they'll be nailing them down through the internet sales, and eventually that will stop. Okay, this is a good time if you're going to buy and sell property, because real estate's at its lowest point. So if you want to get out of your house, get into something else, or sell your house or property, this is the ideal time. Right now it's at an all-time low. And government homes are at its lowest cost, too. If you want to buy a government house, that would be one positive way to connect with the government. Okay, now we all know about health care. The new health care law should allow you to make more freedom of choices and more independence. And but government funding is going to reflect some cutbacks. Children's recreational, according to the chart, and institutional activities are going to suffer. You've already heard about PBS. Has already been mentioned by Romney. See, this is why it starts to tilt more towards Romney getting it. I can't a picture of Obama doing that. But there's a hint right there. Okay? Because that's definitely going to happen. Looking ahead 4 to 6 months, if you're going to travel long distance, then do it by June of 2013, because the restrictions for long-distance airline trips they'll start all over again. Right now, everything's quiet, not too much. They're backing off some of the procedures that they use because of terrorists. They're backing off. Right now is a quiet section. It's real quiet. And you see Obama coming and going on the airplanes, and Romney too. It's pretty safe. If it wasn't, they wouldn't be doing it. So go now. You're going to take a trip, have a vacation, and you want to fly somewhere. Do it between now and June of next year. Okay? Okay. The other thing about that they're cracking down on healthcare is fraudulent claims from because of Pluto in Capricorn, which is a government house also. It's just foreigners and foreign people that are here, and they're saying that they're residents. You notice that's happening with the voting. It's not going to end there. They're going to catch them. Also, these are the same exact people that are applying for health care, and they have no proof of residency in the U.S., so these people will get caught for that also. The sad part of it that affects the natural American citizens that I see on the chart is that later on through 2013, then the government is going to either take on or sever their connections with terminally ill people, which they think is going to save the government money and then turn around and allow you freedom. So we're talking about those vouchers, okay? Gives you freedom of choice. See, again, there's another clue. Can't be sure because Obama could do the same thing. We just don't know. Okay, but it sure is kind of smacking of the Romney thing. Now, kindergarten schools are going to be torn down and removed, and some of them will be gone for good, and others will be rebuilt, and when they do, they'll be rebuilt to last for years to come. Educational books and learning tools for kindergarten kids will be replaced with more modernized tools. So they're realizing that kindergarten children are very bright and they can learn at a faster pace and absorb more than we had originally thought. So a lot of the old school toys and training tools that are in the kindergarten schools now are going to be removed and replaced with modern technology because they find that the kids can in fact keep up with it. The big picture is that the government is trying to plan how to control how people make money. This is the big picture over the next 3 to 5, 7 years to 10 years. This is the big picture that the government is after. They want to control how people make money and accumulate property and control healthcare costs as well. That is the great big picture. Okay? They are looking for an opportunity to control drugs in children's institutions, but they will not actually go through with it because people are going to start to react and protest, and it will back them up. And the unpredictable behaviors of these people will scare the government, and they will back up and say, let's not go there, and they won't do it. Now, the government should either sever or begin control on health care by April or May of 2013. So whichever way they're going to go, you can't tell, even on the chart. You'll get the whole lowdown by April or May on the health care next year. And see, I'm saying here on my notes that the voucher system that Roman talked about looks very real. as this is about releasing control of healthcare and allowing people financial freedom to choose how to control their own healthcare costs. Now that sounds more like Romney. Okay. Now this thing about people that are who are using recreational hospitals and clinics for financial gain that I talked about earlier, the government will tell you eventually, but it'll be a long time because they're going to be sure that they've gotten cracked down. This is really a secret operation, and you will not be told what's really going on for quite a while. And you are going to feel like it's aimed at you personally, but it isn't. I mean, the bottom line, the big picture, yes, they're trying to save money. Yes, they want to cut back on how much goes out from the government for health care, but the big picture is the very first thing they're going to do before they do anything with anybody else is try to recover. It's about time. They should have done this long before now. Is try to recover the fraudulent activities connected to health care and hospitals and try and get that money back. And again, don't expect to hear this announced on the news for a long time because this is an undercover operation and it's going to take a while. Okay, you'll hear little things, but you just heard recently there was they're just now starting to tighten up on the hospitals, but this is just the beginning of a long process. Okay, and that about does it. But I wanted to show you the big picture. Most of it probably isn't real big news to you, but it's very, very difficult, even for an astrologer, to know whether it's going to be Romney or Obama. But whichever one it is, they are both after the same exact goals. So whoever gets it, if you're a business person, don't worry about Obama keeping it. And if you are, a poor middle class person, don't worry. If Romney gets it, it's going to. You have to think back to when Bush was in presidency, and there are some things that are. It just felt like you just stuck that down by the side of the road and forgotten. That's the way I felt. And yet you have these freedoms to move around and choose. So you can't have one without the other. You are either going to be coddled by the government or set free to make your own decisions freely. And these are just, 6 of one and half a dozen the other. So don't worry too much. Whoever gets it, just remember that they are both after the same exact goals. They're just going to use two different approaches, and Obama just has not told you what his approach is, and that's probably because most of the things he's going to do is going to be undercover and secret, and he doesn't want it released to the public because he wants to be as successful as he can at recovering the fraudulent activities. Romney is going to do it just by severance. He's just going to say, I'm not going to waste my time chasing these people down. I'm just going to simply cut them off. So but they're after the same exact thing, exactly. Okay, and that's it. And I'm going to go ahead and post this. And y'all have a great day, and I'll talk to you again when I have some more interesting information to share with you. So have a good one, and take care.